And good afternoon, everybody. From Clarion Borough, the county seat of Clarion County in Pennsylvania, is where we find ourselves today for a great PSAC matchup here on CUTV. Mike Friend here with you alongside me, Matt Catrillo, as always, as we got a great game, as I said, between the Golden Eagles of Clarion as they host the Crimson Hawks of IUP. Matt, we have again a PSAC matchup. Playoff contentions are on the line here. What are some things we're going to look at for today's game?
Well, Mike, like you said, this is the most massive game in the words of Coach Eden of Clarion's season thus far. Coming into the matchup, they are 1 point behind IUP as they all trail East Stroudsburg. Clarion is 8 points behind East Stroudsburg for the 8th and final playoff spot in the PSAC East. So if you get this win here today, Cassandra Soares is coming back on Tuesday to start her rehab back into the team, which is going to be a huge help for this team. So if they get a win here today, they can keep building and moving forward to maybe a possible playoff spot.
And Matt alluded to it, we have a great update here for the soccer team at least. Taking a look at some of these bios here, we have Clarion coming into this game at 4 wins, 5 losses, and 3 ties. They are 3-1-1 at home, coming off a great 3-0 shutout of Alfred State here. IUP always strong, coming in at 6 wins, 6 losses, and only 1 tie. They do have a losing record on the road, or excuse me, 500 record on the road, coming in at 2-3-1. So Matt, what do we have? We have a great match here, and as Coach Eaton alluded to when you and I were talking to him a little bit earlier, so they're going to have to do some different things here today. They are going to have to put some different matchups in. IUP a little bit faster team than Coach Eaton acknowledges that. What are they going to have to do here? From what Coach Eaton said, what's Clarion got to do?
Well, defensive containment, and when you're dealing with any speed, especially up front for IUP, that's going to be the key. You know, and shouldering your players, keeping the balls from going out of bounds, and they're going to have to just contain's going to be a huge part today in this game.
And folks, we're going to pause real quick for the national anthem. And folks, we come back here from Honoring Our Country. And Matt, we're going to take a look at one player who could be a definite difference maker here in this game. And bringing up our player spotlight today, we have Alyssa Spencer.
Yeah, Alyssa Spencer, a freshman defender, 5'5", from Burlington, New Jersey. 12 starts this season, 7 shots on goal, no points yet. And 5 of those shots on goal came in the win against Alfred State, which I found very intriguing, Mike, as Coach Eden put her in more of an offensive position, along with some different players than positions that they're really not accustomed to. He moved Luis Ventura to defense, moved Kelly Antonucci to forward. So he did a lot of maneuvering around, and he said when we talked to him pregame today that you could see that depending on what IUP does on their end of things here today. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see if Coach uses her good speed and her her good aggressiveness to their advantage offensively.
And Matt, as you said, doing some different things, trying to get up with IUP. Looking ahead here, we have some standings. Clarion and IUP both in the hunt for playoffs. As we look at the graphic right here, East Stroudsburg has that final position there, but Clarion nipping at the heels of East Stroudsburg, as is IUP. So, Matt, with this game, Clarion needs to come out on top. If they don't, it's going to be difficult sledding. It's a lot of hoping other people lose so you get points and the points come your way sort of thing.
Well, including this match here today, Mike, as we get ready for it, it's still going to be somewhat difficult for Clarion to get that 8th and final playoff spot. You basically have to win out or win at least 4 out of 5 to have a shot, and obviously get a lot of help, like you said. But you know what? If Clarion's able to pull out the win here today against IUP, that's one team to jump ahead of. They have a couple more that they'll have to jump ahead of as they continue down the last part of the stretch of the season. But again, it starts here today, and if they can get the win here today, then you know what? Sky's the limit. There's no reason why they can make a run.
And we're going to take a look here right as we are getting set to get underway here, folks. The IUP lineup starting in goal, senior Mara Hersick, and back in front of her she has Tanya Fabian, Kelly Jacobson, Nicolette Fonseca, Michelle Gronsky, as IUP will take possession here. Michelle Gronsky starting at midfield. Then they have Kelsey Fischel, Tori Picker, Anna Kate DePaolo, Brittany Coons, Caitlin Kaminsky, and Nicole Miller in front of them. Matt, a very tough team here and a very well played team. Very experienced, a lot of juniors and seniors starting here for IUP.
And also, Mike, a lot of speed, too, and they're going to be looking to attack Clarion center midfield, which has been the weakness of this team. Coach Eden telling us before the game, so it'll be an interesting chess match between both coaching here today.
And Hersick just looking for somebody to pass to, as Clarion really trying to come out offensive here, and she just kind of rugby punts it there in the center, as that is Alyssa Spencer getting a shoulder on it here. IUP takes possession off the bounce, though. Starting for Clarion, we alluded to a couple, but Laura Sossel in net, as she has been since she started here at Clarion. Back in front of her, she has Casey Harsh, Tirza Blackstone, Alyssa Spencer, as the ball gets stumped in there on, Sossel. She has Alexa Ream coming back off injury, Jordan Barr, Liz Ventura, Megan Lawson, Kathleen Warner, and Mackenzie Stover all in front of her. Matt, you see Laura Sossel there just kind of taking her time, not being as aggressive there, coming out after the ball, and definitely the defense communicating with her about that. As we see, looking right now on the back line there, Jordan Barr is on the back line. She's not playing in the midfield early in this game.
Yeah, Jordan Barr has moved her back again. That's what we talked about before. Coach Eden moving people around. You know, you're at that time of the year where you got to try and go with what works at this point and stick with it. And that's what he's doing there with Jordy Barr. And
one good thing, as we alluded to a little bit earlier, we look down the sideline here, Cassandra Soares is dressed and looks as though she could play. Coach Eaton alluded she may play later in some later games here in the season, but that's always good. Is she's as I talked to her earlier this year, an interview here on CUTV, and she said, you know, really didn't think she'd be back this year, gunning for next year return, but that's always a great pick-me-up towards the end of the season for this team. Know you have your leading goal scorer from last year coming back. Yeah, this is a really big surprise to me, Mike, that we're seeing Cassandra come back this late in the season. We didn't think that she would come back at all, and it's going to be a big booster. You know, another scoring threat that Clarion obviously has been needed, and it'll be a huge help for Clarion if she's able to come back on Tuesday. We go to some keys to the game. First, I have saucy defense, of course, with Laura Sossel being the brick wall she has back there. A 118 goals against average, an 876 save percentage, and IUP obviously has been more effective offensively in the first half, outscoring opponents 12-7. So both the back line's has been struggling a little bit as of late. Laura Sossel had to make a lot of saves, but she's done the job, so they're going to have to keep that tight on the back line and with Sossel in goal. Next is Kingme. We talked about how this is going to be a good chess match here today. Both teams are weak in the center midfield, so speed on both sides. It's going to be very interesting to see here today. And last I have play loose. You know, the Clarion's still not going to be favored in any of these games. You know, this is a relatively match here today, but people would give IUP the edge. But in the playoffs, as we mentioned, look tight. So you just got to play like you have nothing to lose, because really, based on Clarion's past history and what they've done this year, people still aren't expecting them to do anything. So they just got to play loose from here on out. And Tirza Blackstone right there, again, playing like she has nothing to lose. Really aggressively, again, up against her man here, as IUP looks to set up something. They're about right outside the box. And a shot in on goal goes way wide. Didn't really have a chance in. Taking that shot there looked to be for IUP. That was Tanya Fabian. Really just kind of dumped it on goal for really no hope of scoring there. It was really a poor shot for IUP here. And Fabian's one of the top offensive goal scorers for IUP this year. 8 points on the season, 3 goals, 2 assists. That'll be somebody for Clarion to look out for IUP offensively. And ball batted around midfield there. just kind of pooched back in there, headed by Lawson. IUP with possession.
And Fabian, Mike, on that last set of plays was left wide open, unmarked. So that's going to be something Clarion's going to have to correct as the game rolls along.
And indicate to Paolo they're driving in. And again, Fabian driving in, looking for somebody to pass to. Takes the awkward shot. And Laura Sossel just gets a piece of it. Just deflects it wide enough there, Matt. It goes wide. She was beat.
Yeah, she was. She beat Nikita Bonnell. I think it was really well. Again, there's the speed that in the center of the field that coach was talking about, and he was concerned about going into today's match. Fabian took advantage of that, had a couple of really nice moves with the ball, a nice tight shot on goal, but a great save by Laura Sossel.
And a corner there goes wide off the head, and Clarion defense staying strong again. Tears of Blackstone able to clear that out. And Matt, you said that, and as Coach Eaton told us, that's something he and his team are definitely going to have to watch out for today, is that speed of IUP. And really, Tanya Fabian, the senior forward, really almost had a free run at the goal there a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, again, if it wasn't for that great save by Laura Sossel, Mike, we'd be in a 1-0 match right now.
And ball just being batted around by IUP, looking to set up something else here. That is Coons driving the ball in as she is taken down by Jordan Barr. And Alyssa Spencer on Fabian there. And Alyssa Spencer playing good defense as she has all year. And a great kick there and great defensive play by Alexa Ream. And to throw in for IUP. And that is DePaolo just kind of drawing again. She kind of pooched it up, looking for possibly the head of one of her mates stringing downfield there. But Laura Sossel comes out and just looking to get the ball out of her own zone.
And look at Kat Warner there, Mike, playing up front. Getting her second start of the season. She started the Alfred State game, played extremely well, had a goal, one of the 3 for Clarion in the 3-0 victory on Sunday. So good to see her getting another start here today.
And Kat Warner, a defender by trade, and Coach Eaton again has her playing into the midfield to forward position. So again, we're seeing early here how those position changes for the Golden Eagles are really helping.
And you know what, Mike, on the goal that she scored, that was about 15, 20 yards out, and she had a couple other shots on goal from there. So she's got a leg as well.
And DePaolo drives in. Casey Harsh gets her head on that, keeping her head in the game here. And DePaolo drives in looking for the head of, or at least a foot of Kelsey Fisher there. And Casey Harsh showing why she's such a strong defender there. She just stepped up and blocked that one, with no fear.
Yeah, Casey kind of knew she was beat, so she just wanted to try and take one for the team. Luckily, it went her way. She takes a shot off the back, and that was a really good sacrificial play right there by Casey Harsh.
And good defensive play there by Kat Warner at just about the midfield stripe. And Casey Harsh boots it out to stop any momentum the Crimson Hawks almost had there as IUP retreats back to and that is Kelly Jacobson, who will throw it in on the far sideline for IUP. And Matt, what we're seeing right now is what Coach Eaton really alluded to earlier. More of a chess match and really just trying to stop any momentum. If your opponent gets in the zone, clear it out, take him back out across midfield, and make him set up again here as Casey Harsh, again, just clears the ball down harmlessly. It'll roll out, but IUP's got to throw in deep in their own zone.
Well, Coach said before the game, he had an idea of what IUP would come out and do, and he was ready for that. But if IUP came out a different way, they would have to make some adjustments on the fly. So it's going to be really fun to watch to see both these coaches go at it all day.
And really, you and I were talking here before the game. You don't see coaches in soccer go at it as Fabian almost gets by Spencer. Spencer does a great job to catch up to her and just forces the ball to be harmlessly driven in. Although that was Fonseca looking again for the tap, give and go pass there for Fabian. But the ball goes out, and so Clarion will have the free kick here. But as we were saying there a minute ago, you don't see coaches really in soccer go at it head-to-head and try to play the mental game as much as, maybe you'd see in other sports, football, basketball, exceptionally. So really, it's going to be an interesting match here as we are already about 10 minutes into this match, and really no side seems to have the advantage right now.
Well, Mike, this game is key for both games for the playoff spot with only 1 point in front of each
DePaolo looking
other.
to take a shot. She takes a wide shot, and it goes high. She's probably looking, or she was looking to cross it into somebody. Casey Harsh clears it harmlessly. But, Matt, going back to what you were saying about neither side really having a great success there, save the one shot Fabian had on goal there.
Yeah, and like I said, Mike, this is a key game for both teams, not just for Clarion. You know, with 1 point separating the two of them, trying to catch East Stroudsburg for that 8th and final playoff spot. And not too far, because Shippensburg only leads as the 7th spot. They're only up by a point over East Stroudsburg. So those are the two teams that everybody south of them is trying to catch. So this is going to be an interesting game here today.
And that is Kelly Jacobson driving in from almost midfield. Nobody really touched her there, and good defense there from Clarion again. And, excuse me, that was Nikita Bonnell. They're trying to clear it out unsuccessfully. DePaolo wide open. She's looking, crosses in, looking for another give and go. She looks for the foot of, that was a streaking Fonseca there coming across, but cleared out harmlessly by the Clarion defense. And now you're seeing this Clarion really just collapsing down on and Clarion really just collapsing down here. And Matt, one thing we have here, again, IUP has won this game. Clarion has not beaten IUP since October 24th, 2007. If we look at that number, that is 2,187 days since Clarion last defeated IUP. So a little more salt in the wound of this rivalry for this team here. So really Clarion trying to keep it sub, almost 2,200 days here since they've won against IUP in soccer. They're trying to keep it under that and end that streak right now. Maybe start a streak their own way.
Yeah, this is an amazing stat. I didn't know this until we started looking some of this stuff up, Mike. And this would definitely be a game for Clarion to break that as they try and edge towards a playoff spot.
And ball cleared down there harmlessly is going to be taken by Hersick. And one thing with that stat here, we have one of our director today and our sports director, Alex Storr, found that stat for us, Matt. And really, the kid has he's got a knack for numbers unlike anybody I've ever seen, finding completely useless stats like that we can talk about for minutes and minutes on end here as Hersick just kind of pops that ball up. Kind of look at her, frustrated herself there as Clarion tries to take possession. And ball just driven back into the Clarion zone.
Yeah, Clarion's having a tough time getting stuff going offensively, which we kind of expected since IUP is obviously the more talented team coming in here today. But Clarion, as long as they can weather the storm here offensively like they've done so far, IUP will have another attack coming, then they can just find that little garbage goal as they call it, to try and pull out a victory.
Something off a rebound or whatever, and the shot goes off Harsh and out. So it looks as though we will have another corner kick here for IUP, and taking the corner kick will be number 29, Brittany Coons, as they set up. And from what I've seen, Coons has had a very effective foot there off the corner kicks, especially the side she's on now as she crosses it in. And off a couple of heads there, most notably the head of Nicolette Fonseca there, as IUP retains possession.
I don't think she got all of that she wanted, Mike, but still able to get the job done.
And there's a shot and a goal. Meg Lawson got in the way of Laura Sossel there, and a shot there, almost a garbage goal here for IUP. And taking that shot was number 30, Caitlin Kaminsky there. She got free. Really, the Clarion defense lost her. So the score with about 15 minutes into this game, 1-0 for IUP. Laura Sossel kind of dove for the ball early. And Stephanie Sikora coming into the game here now after that goal, and Tears of Blackstone coming out.
Yeah, Mike, really nothing that Laura Sossel could have done right there. Again, an unmarked player for Clarion defensively. It hurt them for a couple of other IUP scoring chances, and now it hurt them finally on that goal. Anytime you have a corner kick, especially with a good offensive team like IUP, especially in the first half, outscoring their opponents 12-7, you have to make sure you have everybody marked. And that time, Meg Lawson lost her player, and it cost them a goal.
But again, Clarion defense though still trying to collapse down on that play and really just missed the player when they were collapsing back into their zone. And it looks as though Granitsky's got a breakaway, almost. She's got her, and another shot there, and it goes off harsh, and Saucel dives for it, and we have a whistle here as Saucel ran into the IUP player.
Yeah, Saucel actually had the save, and everybody got a little too aggressive there on the IUP's end. So a great save by Laura Saucel after a shot again was blocked by Casey Harsh, but the deflection went right into the hands of Laura Saucel. So good job there for Clarion. After what looked like almost just about a one-on-one opportunity again for IUP to go up 2-0.
And I said the name wrong there. Correction on that. That is Michelle Grzinski that had the one-on-one chance there as IUP takes possession in their own zone. And Matt, one thing we're hearing here too is IUP just being a little bit louder as Fabian, that is, almost had a real aggressive play there by Harsh as Fabian goes down there, but we have a whistle there, but Clarion takes the kick and goes right back to work here on offense. Liz Ventura looking for somebody to set up the offense.
Yeah, Casey Harsh had a nice slide tackle right there, and then Fabian kind of did a little extracurricular to force the whistle and give Clarion the free kick.
And Matt, we mentioned earlier here, really this is the game, if we didn't see a yellow card, it would be a surprise. And we're not saying we want to see fouls like that, but in this game, it's a tough game, it's a rivalry game. To see something like that and see both teams, because they are so aggressive by their nature, would not be surprised if we see a couple more hard slide tackles like that.
No, you wouldn't be surprised to see that, Mike, but you just hope it's not at a critical point in the game, especially for Clarion's side, now down a goal.
And IUP looking to set up again. And driving in on goal, that is Fisher. Fisher crossing, and the shot cleared harmlessly away there by the Clarion defense.
And you can really see IUP speed really starting to take its toll on Clarion. And you look, one of the other scoring chances for IUP in that last segment there, the speed is really hurting Clarion right now.
And Clarion really struggling to get past midfield. They'll get to about the 40-yard line here if you're looking at what is the football markings. And they're not really getting much past that. They really haven't had a scoring chance here as the pass goes wayward from Bonnell as she was looking for Alexa Ream and just couldn't get there as IUP will retake possession.
And with the exception of the Alfred State game, Mike, Clarion has only scored 1 goal or less the last 9 games previous. So, again, I know everybody's so sick of hearing about this with this team, but the offensive woes still continue to hurt the team. But with Cassandra Soares coming back on Tuesday night for the game, it should help them maybe solve those issues. And
definitely really is, again, Cassandra Soares, we said at the top of the broadcast, the leading scorer, though she was out after 4 games last year with that ACL tear for this team, had 4 goals, and then after she went down, it was kind of contribute goals by committee here. As the ball goes out of bounds, we will have a throw in here.
And not only that, too, Mike, she's such a great leader on this team. You know, we see her on the sideline when she's not in there, you know, encouraging all the players, yelling at them, you know, keeping them on their toes. And having her back on the field doing that certainly will help this team.
And a couple of nice moves right there by Liz Ventura. She got the ball, she settled it to herself, and made a couple of defenders miss here as Clarion literally looks to have one of the best chances they've had all game there, but IUP takes possession. The pass just went a little bit past Nikita Bonnell.
Liz Ventura is really starting to come to her own, Mike. She's had a really nice season so far. She's kind of moved up as she's gone through her career now in her junior season, so she can only get better as she has 1 more year to go with this team.
And Bonnell with possession finds Ventura. Clarion looking to set something up there. And Ventura, Matt, really playing forward here for this the game today, And we have a cross in there by Sikora. Sikora was looking for Stover, but a great play there by Kelly Jacobson to take the ball right off Mackenzie Stover's foot. But going back to what we were saying about Liz Ventura, she may not be the fastest one in the field, but she can definitely muscle more players off the ball, and we've seen that in the games we've watched this year.
Well, that's why in the Alfred State game, Mike, in the second half, that Coach Eden moved Ventura back to the back line because of her aggressiveness. And having that versatility on both ends of the ball, Sam, we talked about Alyssa Spencer for our player spotlight today, will certainly help her in the long run.
And to use a hockey comparison, it's just like if you have a forward that can go back and drop back on defense to, kill power plays or something like that. But, again, Clarion trying to get something going here as they just dump it in. And Nikita Bonnell really hasn't seen a ton of playing time this year, really playing aggressively here and chasing anything back to the keeper, just kind of wobbling around. She's on the ball, chasing it back.
And she's been a nice story this year too, Mike. You know, a lot of injuries on the season. She came back and on a bench role, really played aggressively, has some good speed, got a lot of scoring chances too, and contribution. And now she's earned herself a starting position on the team. So one of many great stories, comeback stories for this Clarion team this year.
And Clarion will take possession there. Harsh looking for somebody to clear it out too. Finds the foot of bar.
If Clarion now can start dictating the possession a little bit, like IUP did the first 15 minutes or so of this match, that'll be when they can start leading to some scoring chances here and try and get back into this game a little bit offensively.
And that pass from Harsh just a little too strong for Sakura. Another nice defensive play there by Casey Harsh, and she's really playing well here. She's been playing well really all season, but today especially really stepping up when her team needs it there with another nice block and got another player off the ball. And Sakura, a little too strong there pass. I think she was just trying to drop it off to Bonnell. And IUP will retain possession here, looking to set something up.
Well, Casey, Mike, has always been the anchor of the back line for Clarion, and she's going to have to do it here today. She already has a couple of nice block shots. But she's got to keep everybody in order as well. You know, she's one of the leaders on this team too, so she's gonna need to give 110% effort here today against IUP.
And we have a throw in here, and IUP will take possession there after Jordan Barr just got a foot on it. And Meg Lawson again with some real stout defense there on Kelsey Fisher. Went down, tied her up, and IUP somehow still manages to retain possession there as Fisher somehow got out of that, but. Again, Meg Lawson, one of the veterans on this back line, playing really well today. Except, again, when just with the goal, she missed her player, but that was, I think that was just more of a communication issue, if anything.
Yeah, but you still have to have all that together, and Meg Lawson and Casey Harsh have been the two veterans defensively for Clarion that have been able to keep that together, but it just didn't happen on that goal.
And IUP again driving in, looking to set somebody up. And a free run there. We have a Fabian streaking towards the goal looking. And that was, that was Grzinski looking to drive in. And Fabian, again, was running free towards the back post of that goal. And Laura Stossel saw her, kind of almost faked her off the ball there and still made the nice save.
Jordan Barr is having a tough time dealing with Fabian and anybody of IUPs, whether it's a midfielder or forward that comes on her side. And she's been out the last couple of games for Clarion, so that's really hurting them defensively. She's just trying to get her game conditioning back a little bit here.
And we'll have a throw in here for Clarion as we just kind of battled there. Throw in for IUP goes back to Clarion now, and another throw in here. Clarion will retain possession and looks to set up here some of the best field position they've had. As Bonnell, beautiful pass there, goes a little awry, but still. Great job to not let the defender take it off her foot.
Clarence has got to find a way to settle the ball right here and try and make something happen.
And Stover driving in, looking for somebody, and that was Ventura looked to try to get a head on it off the Stover cross, and pass just misses the foot of Alexa Ream here. And Steph Sakura drops it back in. Jordan Barr giving chase to it. Trying to settle it there and kicks in the ball, just goes off. Nicole Miller here. So Clarion will have their first corner kick of the game. Taking for Clarion here on the near sideline. Corner is Casey Harsh.
That was a great job by Steph Sakura to set that up for Jordan Barr. Just the pass was a little bit too far, but Jordan Barr did the right thing. Hit it off the legs of Nicole Miller, forcing this corner kick right here. And obviously the best offensive opportunity of the day for the Golden Eagles.
And one of the best corner kickers they have here for the Golden Eagles. Casey Harsh drives it in, and Stover gets a head on it, and it goes out off the head of Stover. IUP will take possession there. And we got a replay here of the kick, and look at that. Little high. Stover really battling with her defender there.
I think it was a little bit too far, too, because she had a couple other players towards the near post ready to go for it. I think Casey hit that a little too far, but still, Mackenzie did a great job in getting at least a good amount of head on it for a decent attempt on goal.
And Kate Newmer coming into the game for IUP, as she will give Fonseca a rest here. So, again, really just swapping out forwards here for IUP and trying to get a little bit of offense going, I'd assume, here for the Crimson Hawks. And Newmer with the ball, really battling with Steph Sikora there. Ball squirts free and goes to Ventura, who has it.
Bad pass right there, Mike, by Liz Ventura. Steph Sikora did a great job in winning that battle. It went right to Liz, right place, right time. Liz had the right idea, trying to get it to Mackenzie Stover on the far side of the field, but didn't see the IUP defender, and the IUP defender took it away.
And really, that's a great duo we see in that forward line there of Stover and Ventura, both veterans of this team, obviously, and they communicate very well to each other with different looks and stuff like that and passes like that. And Harsh clears it off the legs of the defender as Jordan Barr almost got beat again there, Matt, and continues to have a little bit of trouble with, whether it's a forward or a midfielder coming across to her side, and maybe just playing them a little too aggressive.
Well, I just don't think she has her speed on her right now, Mike. Again, she missed the last couple of games for the Golden Eagles, and Coach put her right back in the starting lineup because when she's in there, she's a good defender, and just not having that game speed right now is just really hurting her.
And cleared in there by DePaolo. She was looking for the foot of Fabian. Fabian gets by between that was Harsh and Spencer. Tries to get a shot on goal, goes way wide of the goal again. But Clarion or IUP will have a throw-in because they said it went off the foot of a Golden Eagle.
It was just awkward ball placement there as Fabian went for it, but still, whether you're Spencer or where you're Harsh, you have to find a way to clear the ball out quickly so you don't have another scoring chance like Fabian did right there.
And another good play, I'm going to say, by Laura Sossel. She didn't have to really save the ball there, but still good job keeping her eye where the ball is and letting the play develop in front of her instead of attacking it as she so often does. And in other games really gets beat, but in a game like this, really playing more conservative is really helping Laura Sossel right now.
Yeah, I mean, she's been solid all year, Mike, for Clarion. I mean, especially with the struggles of the back line the last couple of games, making the amount of saves that she has, almost averaging 8-9 saves a game. She's been really solid for Clarion, and the reason why she's one of the best ever in Clarion history.
And Harsh dumps it in, looking for somebody, finds the head of Crimson Hawk here as battling there. It is Barr and Coons. Good play there that was Kat Warner driving in and just really breaking up any offense there. Ventura looking for the foot, just a little past the foot of Steph Sikora there. And man, a couple of sloppy passes we've seen here in the past couple of minutes have really hurt the Golden Eagles as they try to get something set up offensively because they've had the numbers going their way. They just haven't. And Fabian almost gets by Alyssa Spencer there, and driving in, we have a whistle here and a foul called, and we will have a kick upcoming here. But again, Alyssa Spencer, good job. Fabian almost got by her. Good job spinning around and battling Fabian off the ball here as Clarion will take the kick.
Well, Spencer had her man shielded pretty well, Mike, but then Meg Lawson tried to clear it out, and unfortunately it hit right against her own player back towards Clarion's goal, which led to a little bit of an offensive opportunity, but they got saved with the offside call on IUP's Tori Picker.
And a great play there by Jordan Barr and Alexa Ream teaming up on Tori Picker there and really picked her pocket for the Golden Eagles. Went off the foot of Clarion, so IUP will have the throw in there. But Clarion's defense really clamping down, and when a dangerous player gets the ball, they're really double team there, and a nice move by Ventura for the Golden Eagles.
We talked about the chess matches, Mike, in the top of the broadcast, and it looks like Ventura got moved out to one of the far midfielders. Mm-hmm. And Sikora now is playing on the opposite side of Ventura. They moved Ream still in the middle. Kat Warner's now in the middle, as I think she was at forward beforehand. She was an outside midfielder. They moved her inside. They moved Ream inside. Then they moved Ventura and Sikora outside. So you already see the chess matches started, and that's kind of helped Clarion. And they have another corner kick coming up here for Casey Harsh.
And Casey Harsh taking it on the opposite corner today. And really, that side we've seen has been a little bit better for Harsh. I don't know whether it's the wind conditions or what it is, but Harsh been a little more successful off that far corner here this season. She drives it in, looking for the head of Stover, and little too long. Again, Stover had a clear shot, got a good amount of contact with her head on it, just too long. And if we look at it here, Matt, really too long. The near post covered well. She's trying to go long. Stover just a little bit too long.
Yeah, and Stover couldn't position herself right either, and she literally headed it exactly right out of bounds, not even on goal. So still a little bit too far, but again, it's still somewhat of a scoring chance there for Clarion.
And Clarion having to chase it down their own zone there as the ball will come to Saucel. And IUP, you see, Matt, really aggressively attacking into the Clarion zone when they're trying to clear it out here, as that was, Kaminsky there, really just almost getting a foot on it there as Lawson tried to clear it out here. And IUP with possession again, trying to set something up for them, trying to look to go up 2 goals here with about 15.5 minutes left in the first half of this game. Here on CUTV, Mike Friend, Macatril with you as Clarion takes on the IUP Crimson Hawks here in this critical PSAC matchup. Crimson Hawks lead 1-0 on an early Caitlin Kaminsky goal here, Matt. And really, IUP after that goal hasn't got a whole lot of anything. And I say that as Coons drives in, takes a shot right to the hands of Laura Saucel. Laura Saucel almost lost that ball off the deflection there, kind of bounced where it hit her hands. But as I say that, really, IUP hasn't had much of anything except for that shot there by Coons.
Yeah, Clarion Mike's done a good job clamping down defensively, but again, a bad giveaway right there, and to the wrong person in Brittany Coons, who's the leading goal scorer on this team. 6 goals, 3 assists for Coons, as she really has a nice hard shot on goal, but right to Laura Saucel, was able to make the save easily. As I said, for Brittany Coons, not the person to give the ball away to. 15 points on the season, 6 goals and 3 assists, but a great save by Laura Saucel, and Clarion is able to escape there. And you're at a critical point in the half, Mike, where you're already giving up 1 goal. You need to keep it at 1 goal because you've struggled offensively. As I said before, Clarion's only had a goal at most, except for the Alfred State game, the last 9 games prior. So they need to keep it right here at a 1-0 game.
And IUP making some more changes here as Kristen Zerby comes in and Kelsey Fisher gets arrested. Fisher really dangerous for the Crimson Hawks, so IUP may be taking a little bit, Clarion may be taking a little bit of solace in that fact. Newmer, though, a junior, still has seen this Golden Eagles team a lot in her career, so again, not somebody to take lightly here for the Golden Eagles.
You can't. I mean, you can't take anybody lightly, especially when you're down a goal.
And a good move there as Zerby dumps it in. Or excuse me, that was Newmer who dumped it in, looking for somebody to pass to Clarion with the defensive play. Nikita Bonnell really trying to outspeed her receiver, and a beautiful slide tackle there for IUP.
Still got the foot though of Nikita Bonnell, so it's gonna be free kick here for Clarion, and she did a great job in recovery because that really wasn't the smartest pass for Casey Harsh. She did have a man coming on her, so she had to get rid of the ball. But Nikita Bonnell did a great job coming back to at least get an attempt on the ball, and she's able to force a foul and keep Clarion on the offensive possession.
And with that takedown was Caitlin Kaminsky, the lone goal scorer in this game here.
Good shield again by Nikita Bonnell on the far side, but again, not a smart pass. She tried to force it to Mackenzie Stover, but Clarion still able to retain possession.
And really, Stover being one of the when you look at it, she's been really one of the focal points for opposing defenses there as they clear the ball back to Saucel here. And IUP really playing aggressively. Casey Harsh doing a good job there to get her man off the ball.
Good 1-2 combination between Warner and Harsh right there, but Harsh just misses Liz Ventura as she was streaking down the near sideline. That's been the storyline so far, Mike, for Clarion offensively, and why they can't get anything going. They get the passes here and there. They start to churn their legs forward, and then all of a sudden one bad pass, and then everything goes for naught, and then IUP's back the other way.
And Nikita Bono getting right up in the face of Mara Hersick, who really hasn't had a whole lot of work today. Really just a lot of settling down the ball, clearing it out, stuff like that. Clarion only with one shot on goal there, if you want to call the first free kick attempt there.
And also, they haven't taken advantage of those 2 corner kicks, too. So, again, really not a whole lot of work there for Hersick.
And IUP with possession there, just about midfield as they dump it in. Battling in there is Zerby as the ball goes out there. And Meg Lawson doing a great job of matching up with Zerby. And looks as though she matches up with Zerby a little bit better than she did with Fisher there, as Meg Lawson was able to shield her well, keep her, really keep her in front of her, and not let Zerby try to get around her with the passer and forcing the shot to go out.
Well, and Fisher also has a little bit more speed than Lawson, so I think that's why Lawson had a tough time with her. So this is definitely a little bit better of a matchup for Meg Lawson.
IUP is number 22, Kaylee Emmerich.
And Kaylee Emmerich checking into the game for IUP, and Clarion checking in too.
Entering the game for Clarion is number 24, Molly Schultz.
And Molly Schultz coming in the game for Clarion. Alexa Ream getting a break here. So Molly Schultz in for the Golden Eagles.
That's another player, another freshman, Mike, one of 6 on this team that Coach Eden has gone to now in the last couple of games, and she's done a really good job. Mostly, she's been playing sometimes in the midfield, sometimes up front. She looks like she's in the center of the midfield right now, so she's been kind of put all over the place. But again, if you can show that versatility, you can make a name for yourself on this team. And
Molly Schultz, as you said, really coming in for the freshman, and IUP coming in. Haley Emmerich taking the place of Tori Picker, and the coach for IUP really swapping a midfielder for a defender by nature. Picker was playing back in the back line here for the Crimson Hawks, so just switching out defenders, trying to get those legs some rest here too.
Yeah, exactly. Again, you're at that point in the half where you'll put on those fresh legs, and it's going to be a big advantage for Clarion to try and keep this game at a 1-0 game.
And Clarion dumping the ball in. And a great play there by Nikita Bonnell to really drive the ball deeper into the Crimson Hawks zone. We have a whistle.
Yeah, Nikita Bonnell got held, and she again showed some good speed, Mike. And I think she was battling with Kelly Jacobson. That's been fun to watch this whole half. And again, Nikita Bonnell, one of the reasons why that she's gained the starting spot, creating scoring chances for Clarion. And here's one right here. Free kick for Casey Harsh. One where she can actually score from, as we know. She's got a leg. This is only from about 25 yards out. So you could just see Casey Harsh just take a simple shot on goal right here.
And she is incredibly dangerous from this range. And that's exactly what she does. Drives it in and headed around a couple of times by some Crimson Hawks. Still not out of as Steph Sikora. Great job shielding her player off the ball here as it goes off. Possession will stay with Clarion there. And, Matt, we saw Casey Harsh really driving in. Not sure whether she was looking for the head or she was actually driving for the goal and just didn't get all of what she could on it.
I think that's what happened there, Mike, too. And as you mentioned, Steph Sikora did a great job in shielding her defender, but I think Clarion got away with that throw-in call. I think that went off of Sikora when she was trying to save it. And Clarion, again, has got to take advantage right here.
And Barr throwing it in there finds Bonnell. And Bonnell taken down, but no whistle here. As Barr drives it looking for the head of, she was looking for Stover, found the shoulder of a Crimson Hawks player, and Casey Harsh really had to settle that ball down and get it out quick because she had Kirsten Zerby driving upfield trying to take the ball away and try to get a breakaway chance there.
Not a good decision there by Jordy Barr. Mackenzie Stover really did not have a good position to get any body part on the ball, but Clarion does a nice job in retaining possession and keep the ball on IUP side of the field.
And a great play there by Steph Sikora to settle it down. And Liz Ventura had a clear shot. She had Mackenzie Stover wide open and just missed her. The best scoring shot they've had here. You see Sikora settles it down for Ventura and just misses. I mean, Matt, that's probably the best scoring chance they've had all day without the corner kicks. And really,
that was better than the corner kick.
Steph Sikora really doing a great job beating her man down to save it there at the end and getting a good job of getting back to Liz Ventura. And Liz Ventura with a beautiful cross.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that was a great cross by Liz Ventura. Nice line drive right there. I just think Mackenzie Stover just mistimed heading that because the way her body was positioned, that was a goal easily.
And Clarion will have the throw in here. Still really, the Crimson Hawks now kind of playing like they're shaking. And we have another whistle and takedown. That is, again, Kelly Jacobson. Looks like she's getting a little frustrated with Nikita Bonnell out there. as another takedown there, but Bonnell really showing her resiliency, pops right back up and says, you know, I'm still ready to go. And across there was looking for the head of Ventura, but and a drive in there by Meg Lawson. Someone you don't see fire on goal all that often from about 25 yards out, but Lawson taking a shot on goal, figuring why not.
And it's a good decision too, Mike. You know, Clarion didn't really have a lot to try and create any scoring chances, get any headers inside the 18, so why not take a shot from 25 yards out? You have IUP on their toes.
And IUP really just trying to get something set up here again, trying to get some of the momentum. Clarion really, as we head into the last 6 minutes of this half, Matt, Clarion's really taken the momentum and shifted it back their way.
If they can maintain this going into the locker room here at halftime, that'd be a huge advantage for them as we head towards the second half.
And the ball will roll out of bounds harmlessly. Alyssa Spencer will throw it in there on the far sideline for the Golden Eagles. And a great play there, again, by Meg Lawson, really muscling her player off the ball. Good job if the ball went out, getting the ball to bounce off her man as it jumps in. We have another substitution here for the Crimson Hawks. We have Casey Reber coming into the game for the Crimson Hawks. Coming out is Katie Newmer. So Katie Newmer not getting a whole lot of time here, Matt. But again, just getting some fresh legs here, as you don't want to wear out your players too early in the half because it is still a one-goal game.
Exactly, and Clarion's got to still try and take advantage here and get some offensive opportunities going.
And Clarion looking to get something going there. Kat Warner just dumps it in deep. Stover giving chase to it. It's going to roll out, and the Crimson Hawks will take possession there. And, man, we're seeing again, this chess match is really, both teams are just having their midfield, their back line, just dump it in and see what happens for the most part. I mean, they're having offensive opportunities. You know, we'll not take those for granted because both sides have had some very good chances so far. But if you're looking at this as we have a throw in here from Spencer, really it's just kind of been dump it in, let's set up again, make them set up again.
Well, so far, Mike, I think Coach Eden has won the chess match.
And right there, that was Stover driving it in there right into the arms of Mara Hersick. And Mara Hersick getting a lot more work here in the last 10 minutes than she did in the first 35.
Not a good punt right here either, and Clarion can be right back on the offensive attack as long as they can settle the ball.
And really, Matt, you look, that's the second one she has not gone very much distance on and has instead pooched straight up in the air, only about 20 yards net. And driving down here, past there, looking for Zerby. Zerby driving down in. Alexa Barr doing a good job Jordan Barr. I almost said Alexa Ream and Jordan Barr, great super player there, but Jordan Barr doing a great job of muscling Zerby off the ball there after she initially had gotten beat. And it'll be interesting to see if Coach Eaton leaves her in the backfield at half or just instead moves her up to midfield, moves one of the more versatile forwards or midfielders like Liz Ventura back in the second half.
Yeah, Mike, you really don't know.
And a shot here, Fabian's got on the offense, really got through of anybody. Bad pass there from the Golden Eagles. Luckily for Laura Saucel, the shot came right to her. We have a shot there on the replay, and really, I mean, Fabian could have, if she could have faked Saucel out, she would have had her second goal of the evening here. As IUP again, shot goes way wide, and it would have been good if we were playing football. But again, shot there off the foot of, I believe that was Zerby, that was Brittany Coons, went way wide and high of the goal.
Well, Mike, going back to the first of two giveaways for Clarion, Casey Harsh was trying to get it to Meg Lawson, but just a bad pass. Fabian read that well, and that led to that first shot on goal of two in a row for IUP. And again, that was right to Laura Sasso, so I don't think Fabian got all she wanted on that, but it was still a nice hard shot on goal. And the same thing happened on the second attempt, just to give a straight giveaway to an IUP offensive player, and that led to another offensive opportunity for IUP. So Clarion really just cannot do that, especially when you head towards the second half.
And Clarion trying to get something set up here, coming down about 2 minutes left in the half here. Trying to get anything, really, if they can, just try to swing some of that momentum that they had and kind of gave back to IUP here in the last about minute and a half.
But still, it's encouraging to see some of these offensive
and a beautiful
chances.
Header by Stover there, and if she got a little less on it, maybe Bonnell could have tried to got a foot on it, but we will have a throw in here coming for the Golden Eagles, and still a really good offensive opportunity here for as the Eagles as Jordan Barr throws it in, finds Kat Warner. Kat Warner, that pass goes wanting. She was looking for, that was Molly Schultz, but really the pass kind of went wanting and rolled out of bounds on the far sideline.
There's just a miscommunication between Warner and Schultz. Schultz, I think, got it tied up with an IUP defender, and Warner thought she was going to go wide to start setting up the offensive possession again, and neither one knew what the other one was doing.
And Lawson just clears it down there for Clarion. And Schultz almost got beat their man. I was going to say, again, a very dangerous there as Reber takes possession now, looking for somebody to set up. She finds, and right on goal, she finds, that was the foot of Grzinski. Grzinski, again, has had about 3 shots on goal. They have all been right at Laura Saucel. So no harm, no foul, I suppose, if you're Laura Saucel. But again, you kind of want your defense to be able to step up and maybe block some of the shots or take them away.
Yeah, Mike, just too many giveaways for Clarion defensively here in the first half. That's led to way too many good offensive chances for IUP and many shots on goal. Just Laura Saucel's done the job, and a couple of those shots on goal for IUP, I don't think that none of their players luckily got enough of the shot that they intended to, because they've been right at Laura Saucel for her to make.
And again, on that last clear out by Hersick, again, not a very good kick at all. She just kind of pooched it up in the air again. She only really got about 30 yards of air on that. As we come into our last 10 seconds here of the half, Clarion just going to concede any sort of offensive opportunity and let the clock run out here. Folks, we are at half. The score is IUP 1, Clarion nothing here at Memorial Stadium. The lone goal coming early in this half off the foot of senior defender for IUP, Caitlin Kaminsky. Matt, what did you see out of this team here real quick before we head to break?
Well, first off, I think it's been relatively even as far as the chess match is concerned, Mike, like we talked about. You kind of saw IUP win that chess match of speed in the first half, in the first part of this half, Mike, taking advantage of Clarion's weakness in the center midfield, and that led to the first goal off the corner kick from Brittany Coons and to Caitlin Kaminsky. But then the last 15 minutes or so of that half was totally dominated by Clarion. They really dictated the offensive possession, led to a couple of scoring chances there, most notably the Ventura cross towards Mackenzie Stover that just missed her head, which I think really would have been a goal if Mackenzie Stover just had to time that a little bit better. So if Clarion can come out here and dictate the offensive possession like they did these last 15 minutes, they'll have a chance to tie this game. In fact, I think they will tie this game. But on the defensive side of the field, you cannot give away the ball to IUP because you already saw right there it can be deadly.
All right, folks, we are going to send it to a quick break here on CUTV. We will be back for the second half here of this great PSAC matchup here on CUTV.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Oh, are you going out tonight?
I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work.
That's so gay.
Totally gay. Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
Well, you know, when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say?